we go to the content side. With pleasure as well, I'm going to introduce Ben Kraaijenhagen. Sorry for my bad pronunciation of the surname. I always very bad on this. We know Ben for a long time, and it's really good that he's the technical coordinator of the ZEFES project, and is one of the first project we have, and will drive us in this content. So then.
So thank you very much for the nice words, Fernando. Yes, I am delighted and very happy that I have the opportunity to present one of the projects under the call, which was published a few years ago, in the meantime 2 years ago, because we have formed a so-called cluster, the AEVETO cluster. And that means that under the call which was published, there were more than one project approved. And that means that we suddenly widen our scope, and we are really looking now already at a little bit of scaling things, because it's not only one isolated project, it is a consortium of projects. And we have the job to, yes, we are single projects, but we do talk to each other, and we try to be complementary, and we try to find synergies to make life workable. The projects here are besides ZEFES, it's H2Hall, it's Next, eTruck, ESCALATE, and Empower. And today, ESCALATE, Empower, and ZEFES are here and will present their highlight level ambitions and goals. What we try to do together is very precisely, we want to look at mapping the energy infrastructure, because the takeaway of today is, I believe, the trucks will be there, but if there's no infrastructure, there are no trucks. You can also turn it around, the chicken egg philosophy. If there is no truck, there is no infrastructure. So who is waiting on who? So that is one of an exciting discussion we will have today. And we have to make a breakthrough in this. The second part is the lobbying in Brussels. And the lobbying in Brussels is twofold. You have a current legislative framework through Europe, and we need to have a future legislative framework in Europe. Because today we already see that with a certain truck configuration, you can drive in one country and you can drive in the other country, but you cannot do the cross-border because that is not allowed. So the lobbying in Brussels is twofold. Not only the research and innovation projects, but it is also how can you bring these things in practice that it will work in the future. The third thing is joint event like today. And by that, we want really to maximize the impact of all our projects. And I think these are very key pillars to become the success of the projects. This? Okay. So let me introduce the first project, the ZEFES project. And first to tell you a little bit about how was the vision and the story of the project. It is already said that Europe becomes climate neutral or CO2 neutral by 2050. And by that, long-haul freight transport needs to be transformed to reach this goal, because one big portion of the CO2 emission is transport of goods and cargo. And it is not only that we talk about battery electric vehicle and hydrogen vehicle, but in the projects we are facing today, we are talking about battery electric and hydrogen electric vehicles. And we know that there are parallel discussions about vehicles with combustion engine with e-fuel or biofuel, or vehicles with combustion engine hydrogen. We also see developments in Europe about pantograph solutions, so electric highways or inductive highways. But we are focusing now on battery electric and fuel cell electric with charging and filling stations in our projects. Unfortunately, these projects have, of course, a certain status today. TCO is not compatible with diesel trucks. Infrastructure is a topic. The payload is a topic, and cost prices are a topic. So within ZEFES, we have made a step back and we have looked at what is now the ecosystem in the whole logistics and transport world, and what do we need to do in our project to make it really work after the project. And by that, we took a quite depth analysis out of one of the previous projects, which was Aeroflex, where we have already dealt with the topic of transport of freight along European corridors. And we already looked at deeply in, how is freight transported in Europe? And then you see that it is not only a question on road, it is rail, road, water, air. And we made an analysis, how will transport grow in Europe? And how can we counter that, and how we have to deal with this? And what we saw in a study done by DLR was that transport will grow dramatically, 48%. And we tried to project a split between what is road, what is rail, and what is water. And we saw that if we don't do anything talking about intermodal transport and multimodal transport, road transport will be faced with a huge problem because roads are simply overfilled with freight transport. So the message is that rail and water needs to double maybe their capacity, but even when they double their capacity, road transport remains one of the most important way of moving freight. So to turn this around, we realize also in our project, we have to do more with less. So how can you transport more with less trucks? And how can we look at zero emission trucks? And how can that be compatible then also with multimodal transport? Then we have the second thing is the diversity within Europe. I talked about it already. The cross-border, but also within certain countries. Take Germany with its 16 federal states. Try to drive from Munich to Hamburg, you have to cross federal states. And in each federal state, it can happen that the legislative framework changes. That's we have experienced when we were doing the platoon test a few years ago. And then, of course, we have to look at driver shortage. Just the rainbow, where are we looking at in our project? The current challenges for battery electric vehicle and fuel cell electric vehicles is that at this moment, the ranges are limited due to the battery sizes, the battery technology, the fuel cell technology. So we have to still to work on the research and the development of these powertrains. We see that the payload is affected. At this moment, if you have 7 trucks which are transporting cargo, you need in future 1 truck more. So that cannot be the right way. So we have to do something about the weight of the trucks, either on the legislative side, or we have to make the truck lighter. And I think we need to find a compromise, because it's wrong that we have more trucks on the road in the future because of electrifying. Then we have lack of available energy infrastructure. I said it already. And we have, of course, the higher costs due to the energy prices and the low scale of production. So the big question is, how can we really get the right actions to get these zero emission vehicles in the fleets incorporated? So within our project, we said, okay, what are the real ambitions? First of all, we want to have huge demonstrations through the whole of Europe. You will see later where are our corridors, and it's really cross Europe. Secondly, we want to look at how can we make those vehicles affordable, and that operators can use these vehicles and can earn money with it. We will look at mapping at the infrastructure. So, and that we will do in close collaboration with the other projects. And we will look at developing technologies so that we can really deliver benefits for the operators. And we will do that via a digital platform, which will help operators to implement these vehicles in their fleet. So a digital platform is a cloud-based platform which is connecting a lot of digital twins, digital modules, and it should be an open source so that everybody can connect to it via an interface, an IP, or whatever. And I can already tell you that's quite an interesting challenge. So we are looking at modularity because we think if we go into modularity from the vehicle side and the powertrain side, we can do something about price reductions on the cost side. And modularity means that it also becomes easier for an operator that you can use the vehicles also in more missions than only one. We are going to demonstrate megawatt charging points, and we are going to develop a strategy. How can you roll out fueling stations for hydrogen? And then, of course, I said already, the digital and the fleet management tools, which is an open platform with all kinds of modules. Here you see the map. What is our plan? And we will have a cross-border demonstration phase. We have a cross-border from the south of Spain up to the middle of Sweden. We will run from Sweden into finally Belgium, Netherlands, from France into Italy. In France, we have a corridor. We have in Turkey a corridor, and from the Netherlands through Germany into Austria. And then we have a corridor crossing the Brenner Pass. I think a nice portfolio. And you see already that we are intermodal because we are using in France the railway from Le Boulou to Doudelange. And we are using the railway from Zeebrugge to Milan. And we are using depots and hub spots so that we are really talking about cross-border intermodal transport of freight where our vehicles will run. We will look at the issues of range and payload so that our vehicles can drive in the scheme of drive and rest time, which is already in place via the legislative framework. And on some corridors, we will have a fuel cell vehicle and a battery vehicle in parallel driving so that we can analyze for what mission is the powertrain the best option. And we will find this pathway. How can we find solutions for price systems and volume increase? And then, of course, the impact, because we want to know what is the real impact of this new vehicle concept in this kind of logistic missions, because each mission is different. All in all, we have 15 demonstrations. We have vehicle concepts and fast charging concepts, and you see that we are talking about standard vehicles, tractor trailer units, but we are also looking at dual trailer concepts. We are looking at the ordinary long vehicle concepts up to 25 meters, and we are looking into a portfolio about fuel cell vehicles and battery electric vehicles. And as said, we will run 15 months. So we have 9 vehicle configurations running over a period of 15 months. And the expectation is that we will collect more than 1 million kilometers. We also looked at what are the real freight and emissions you should really look at in this kind of projects. And we have said then we have to look at missions where road is inevitable. Still looking at this intermodal concept. And the temperature control good. It's not only crossing then the Brenner, but take Prima Frio. This is a real intermodal corridor. We will have general cargo. We have consumer goods. And this is, yeah, a very complex use case because we are also going to do within a hub splitting of vehicles and partly automated driving of vehicles, parcel distribution, which is the critical thing in parcel distribution, is the time slots. Trucks are only allowed to be 10 minutes in a depot, where I'm going to load or charge the battery suddenly because he's not allowed to stay in the depot. He should go out. We have heavy steel as an example to really look at a use case, really heavy. And we are looking at automotive transport because that's also a very complex time planned mission. And the challenges and the KPIs we are looking at are self-explaining, and they are also the logic issues you have to look at. And we are really looking at some long-haul application of 1,300 kilometers in one day. So this is a two-man operation, and then still you have to be on time that you can charge a battery within your 45 minutes pause. So I think a nice portfolio of use cases where we can have some brilliant discussions afterwards. And this is who we are. So we have a nice consortium, OEMs, suppliers, shippers, retail, and then of course we have some people coming from the research, infrastructure, regulatory framework, and we have decided to build up a stakeholders group, and everybody who wants to become a member of the stakeholder group will also get a job in the projects. So you will get a job to do so that you can help us, that you can really tell this is wrong what you are doing, do it in the other way because that's what we need. Because for me, the stakeholder should be the one who is going to be the user after our project. Otherwise we do things for the cat's bowl, and that cannot be true. So this we are. Thank you very much. And later on we can answer questions, but that will come in the round tables, I think.
Please, let's give the floor to Empower.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michele de Gennaro. I'm glad to be here. First, a short presentation about myself for those who don't know me. I am senior scientist at the Austrian Institute of Technology, but I also support different European networks, association, and so on and so forth. I am part of the executive board of EARPA, chairman of the working group number 5 of Batteries Europe, and a member of the advisory body of clean aviation. So I do work also in different transport modes. Today, I'm presenting from the coordination standpoint, the Empower project. I was lucky enough to be involved into the shaping and crafting of this project. Empower stands for Eco-Operated Modular, Highly Efficient and Flexible Multi-Powertrain for Long-Haul Heavy-Duty Vehicles. And it's a project which is heavily focused on technical and technological development. So we do have a demonstration phase, but our primary objective is to deliver new type of vehicles capable of serving the needs of the freight mobility of the future. I can go quite fast on the context that because some words have been already spent. We have an urgency of decarbonizing transport, and we have an urgency of decarbonizing heavy-duty transport. Heavy-duty transport accounts for a quarter of greenhouse gases emission coming from transport in the EU, and 6% of the global anthropogenic emission from the European Union. So just to put this in context, heavy-duty transport, heavy-duty road transport is responsible of twice as much emission as air transport, cargo and passenger together. We have an urgency for decarbonizing, also given by the current developing regulatory framework, the communication 8080 of February of this year, that is basically going to amend the existing regulation, is putting on us more stringent targets for greenhouse gases reduction on heavy-duty transport, targeting 45% reduction by 2030 against the 2019 baseline. This is really a lot. And this means that we need to roll out new type of vehicles, new generation of vehicles, basically by the day after tomorrow. That's why we have to act fast and swift. So Empower is a very vertical project run by a fairly small consortium, given its ambition, which has the ambition of delivering two vehicle demonstrator, both belonging to the Vecto group number 9. One is a fuel cell electric vehicle suitable for long-haul operation with a maximum unrefueled driving range of 750 kilometers demonstrated on a proving ground. And the second one is a battery electric vehicle designed and crafted for regional delivery mission profiles capable of a maximum unrecharged range of 400 kilometers, also demonstrated on the proving ground. Both vehicles have a gross vehicle weight of 40 tons, and they are delivered by the end of the project, so by the end of 2026 at TRL 8. So we are 2 to 3 years from the commercialization of this type of vehicles. They have to have a maximum load capacity, which is 90% against a conventional truck, a diesel truck, and they have to have a TCO against the 2019 baseline that basically equals the 2019 baseline for a diesel truck. So they have basically to have the same operational cost. So Empower, as I said, it's a very technical and technological project focused on developing a large portfolio of technology bricks. The technology bricks are organized in 3 main thematic areas. One that is about developing the technological components of the 2 trucks to achieve a tank-to-wheel energy efficiency of 44% in the case of the fuel cell truck and 82% in the case of the battery electric truck. Developing the different components of the e-axle, which is common to the 2 trucks, and achieving an energy consumption reduction of 40% for heating and 30% for cooling for the auxiliary system. The second thematic area concerns the interfaces of the 2 trucks with the infrastructure and with the logistic operator. And the third thematic area of Empower is about demonstration. We have a demonstration for both trucks of 6 months where they have to operate on a number of routes, which also covers some European corridors. Going through the list of the different technological bricks, there is of course no time to go and to explode one by one, but each technological brick is a small project per se. We are developing a true modular vehicle system architecture within a single OEM. And for us, this is really a key element. Just as having a true collaboration between OEMs, which are by nature competitors, is complicated. So we have designed the project to be a single OEM project and to have a full modularity between the 2 vehicle platforms. The 2 vehicle platforms are sharing a lot of components and also the frame. Having a modular low voltage electric and electronic architecture, having a fuel cell system with high reliability and extended operational lifetime with modular energy storage, having a highly efficient e-axle, so developing motor inverter and transmission, and to have this a common piece between the 2 demonstrators, optimize thermal and energy management, optimize HVAC system, featuring CO2 as a refrigerant, electrifying the distributed braking system, developing a digital twin model capable of accelerating the development of the vehicle platform and of the next generation vehicle platform for the 2 demonstrator vehicles, developing an innovative human vehicle interface, which is also capable of featuring vehicle to grid and communication and eco-routing, encompass fleet management and integration within the fleet of heavy-duty vehicles. Of course, we have LCA and TCO assessment as an integral part of the project itself, and operation of a green hydrogen infrastructure for the fuel cell demonstrator. So here you see a schematic of the two platforms, and you see that basically the two platforms share a lot of components. So they share the same frame, they share the same e-axle module, so same motor, same inverter, and same transmission. They share a similar cooling module, and of course they differ for the energy storage and energy conversion system. We have an H2 tank on one, and we have a traction battery on the other. The two trucks also have a slightly different cabin. One has a sleeper cabin, that's the long haul. One has not the sleeper cabin, which is the regional delivery, because they have two different mission profile. But this approach provides us a lot of room for synergies, and this is essential for bringing down cost in a credible way. Going to the third thematic area, which is, of course, fairly important in this project because we want to deliver TRL8, so we have to demonstrate TRL8. We go into the demonstration phase. And our demonstration phase is subdivided in two stages, stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 1 is about proving the performance of the vehicle on a proving ground. We have selected the Balocco proving ground, which is located in Piedmont in Italy, close to Torino. It's basically a modular truck, but you can use basically the oval. It's flat, and you can run for a day at a constant speed. And on this Balocco proving ground, we will show the ability of the two demonstrators to run 750 kilometers unrefueled for the fuel cell and 400 kilometers unrecharged for the battery. Then we move the two demonstrators to the real world, to the roots, to the European roots, and we go for a 6 months demonstration phase, which basically touch 4 member states. We go Italy, Austria, Germany, and France, and 5 use cases, 3 for the long haul operation and 2 for the regional operation. For the long haul, we will have the Barilla truck, which is going from Parma to Ulm. I always say that the Barilla truck is only second to the Coca-Cola truck. It's kind of Italian brand. Then the second use case is an EVECO internal use case. We basically move components between different EVECO factory from Torino to Lyon to Fos-sur-le-Mer. The third use case is an Electrolux use case, which basically moves components from Munich to Bolzano to Santa Lucia in Veneto. And then we have the 2 regional use cases. The one regional use case is again an Electrolux one in the Munich area, and the second one is an EVECO use case between Turin and Brescia. And we are performing them for 6 months at the end of the project. The last 6 months of the project are just dedicated to that. Again, Empower is run by a fairly small consortium compared to the others. We are only 14 partners for 4 member states plus Switzerland, and we do have a grant of 18 million euro plus 4 million euro extra coming from the Swiss government. You can see the partner on the slide. It is a project coordinated by the AET, and we have City Engineering and Fillinger as Austrian partner. We have a lot of Italian partners. We have EVECO, FTP, Politecnico of Torino, Littech, Brembo, Gruber Logistic, and H2. We have another branch of the FTP group from the Switzerland part, from the Swiss partner, CDTech from Spain, and EFP and Air Liquide from France. And this concludes my presentation. Thank you for attention, and I'm happy to listen to your question later.
Let's give the floor to ESCALATE. Servais. What I propose after ESCALATE presentation, if you have any question to the different projects, we can go to them. Thanks.
Good morning. Thanks to you all. Yeah. I want to present ESCALATE, but first, as you noticed, the project we are talking about, these 3 projects, I have some connection. Yeah, therefore I will skip something said by Michele, something said by Ban. I will not go into detail on these topics. Therefore, yeah, 2 words about ESCALATE. Yeah, ESCALATE power European net, yeah, zero emission. Yeah, by escalating zero emission. the thing concerning myself, Servais, I'm from FEV. Yeah, FEV, most of you, or you know, we have engineering company, German company. I'm from France, FEV France subsidiary. And in this project, we will see here, we have a significant number of partners. We go through, you have some skip concern, their logo here, but I will detail during the presentation. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I will not detail again concerning AEVETO because Ben already said some words on this, yeah, concerning the aim and also what's the objective also of this cluster. Therefore, let's go to our vision concerning the ESCALATE. We have our vision is transform long haul freight and transport to reach 20 to 50 CO2 targets. And what we want we see is to develop a seamless integration of zero emission heavy duty vehicles. And therefore, we see ESCALATE here someone who could play a very, very big role concerning propulsion of vehicle, transport of vehicle in Europe, yeah, to be a kind of leading to propose the approach technologies using innovative terms. What we see here, what we propose and ESCALATE, we have these, I would say, 4 items we will go through. We have battery electric heavy duty vehicles. That's something we see that could be useful and therefore also used on this application. We have the fuel cell, and that's something what that is obviously new. What our colleagues did not talk about is range extended, yeah, heavy duty vehicles. And based on this, we have also the fleet management, use the tool to manage all the, to coordinate, support all the transportation. Yeah, a challenge we see here, we already, I think Ben already talked about the impact of heavy duty today concerning emission on our actual. We saw, he said also the percentage of heavy duty on our road today, when you see all the fleets, heavy duty, in numbers, not very important, but concerning emissions quite huge. And also you see that there was a growing, Ben also showed a graph showing that heavy duty vehicle in Europe is planning its aim to grow. And you see that it's kind of non-compatibility between the growth of heavy duty numbers and also the emission that CO2 emission that is emitted by those vehicles. Therefore, we have to find a solution and see how to do, yeah, and therefore besides the known problem we have, but also went through some of them, yeah, the limited range of charge, single charge, we have some problem today, the payload, the grid, yeah, with negative impact, everyone can see. I will not go through, yeah. And the major challenge we have here is to see how the freight and logistic and industry are inherent and necessarily conservative nature. Yeah, we have this emission that's generated during manufacturing and also during production of electricity that we have to face on. Yeah, that's something that's very important. And all those challenges also are addressed to ESCALATE. The aim of ESCALATE for us is to contribute to cluster 5. Yeah, the aim, as everyone knows, to fight climate change by making European Union transport sector, I would say, clean, yeah, event friendly. ESCALATE, what is ESCALATE? Yeah, we have, this has brought ESCALATE to a number of partners, significant number. I told you 37 partners, 30 countries. And here we have 5 trucks manufacturer, yeah, 3 infrastructures, supplier, 6 OM, 4 shippers, and 10 university research and institute, and 5 non-government organizations. Our budget here, it's 22.4 million for the cost, for nearly 17 million European cost contribution, yeah. And also we have the same duration, 42 months for this project. Our objective here, that's what we want to do, yeah, what's our target here is to develop and demonstrate, yeah, high efficiency ground long haul battery. I already give some word about this, fuel cell and range extended heavy duty vehicles with minimum gross weight 40 ton, yeah. And our challenge also here is to have 800 kilometers on charge, yeah, range run in operation conditions. That's the first objective we have. The second objective here is to do something not in road condition, but to take the heavy duty, the vehicle, and to run in full load condition. Therefore, we need now 500 kilometers, and we have to do it. It's a long-term, 6-month duration. Therefore, the third we have is concerning charging solution. There we have the fast charging because we need to have also have something friendly. We have to need to develop fast charging solutions to propose either for electric, also for fuel cell, an application there. That's something we have on us. We have in ESCALATE. We have seamless integration and fluid operation for these vehicles. Fifth, we have to demonstrate something that will be useful for all range vehicle. Therefore, we are proposing 5 modular demonstrator in 3 technologies. I already give some word about this. And at the end, we have the global leadership, European for the logistic infrastructure empowering for our future zero emission. What we apply here, we have our pilot. To have to do it, we are doing this in the real world condition. We have 5 pilots. With these 5 pilots, we have therefore 26 because we are doing 6 months for each in full load conditions. We are then 24 months testing the data we have to collect on the real conditions. These 5 demonstrators, we have to run approximately more than 500,000 kilometers, yeah, and in different configuration, as you can see here, regional and cross-border tests. I will go through very quickly concerning different pilots. The first one, it's Finland. So for Finland, it's Sisu. The company is Sisu. It's a range extended long-haul solution. You go from Helsinki to Jyväskylä and go to John. We have approximately 500 kilometers there. We have to make the test for this regional test. We have the BMC. It's a Turkey company of doing fuel test track. A company with high operational flexibility and short refueling time. We do the test either in France, Germany, and Turkey. Therefore, we have to do and solve this issue concerning the cross-border legality information to fix also. We have the third one. It's a Mercedes-Benz, yeah, in Turkey. We have to do it from Istanbul to Sofia. Therefore, we have to do approximately 500 one way back, and I'm just using electric application here. And the last 2 yeah, we have from UK, yeah, we have Electra. It's battery electric refrigerator truck with rooftop photovoltaic, yeah, solar panel. That's something also specific that you give some constraint to us also concerning this application. This we have to run in this. We have to run in Germany, Freiburg to Karlsruhe, and after in UK from Dundee to Southampton. Yeah, we have approximately 800 kilometers for each to be handled for this pilot. And last one, that for it's a Ford. Yeah, we're doing Ford long-haul fuel cell refrigerator trucks with optimized powertrain hybrid. Therefore, we have to run to Spain and also with France. That's the 5. The 5 as a pilot we have, and now we have to use now to take into infrastructure to how to ensure that all the infrastructure will be covered for all these pilots. Yeah. We have for TechFen, which one for we have a mobile modular hydrogen filling station, and we've developed that will be easier for BMC, that for the 2K use case I just showed to you. We have a grid that will be developed by NG, that big black platform with complete green fix, including fuel cell, hydrogen in the big platform, using all the TNT connection to be used and to also to supply all the vehicle that will be in this road. And we have one for electric infrastructure. We have Kempower, where we developed a fast charger, and our target here is to go nearly 1 megawatt. Yeah, to be able to reach our target. We have a capacity to ensure a fast charging solution. Therefore, we have approximately 40 minutes to reach approximately 80% of our needs. That's the target we have. Okay, that's the all for Nanoxcell. Yeah, what we see here that we want to play a very big role on this proposal, and at the end of our project, we expect that by showing to all our customers that we are able to develop technologies capable to doing 800 kilometers with only one single charge, capable to do 500 kilometers in full load condition, ever if electric and fuel cell, we expect to be to play a big role on promotion, on development on the vehicle concern transportation. That's the end of my presentation. And the only thing I would like to use is please, please follow all our activities on our social media. And if you can see, have a time, please have a look. You could see how all of our activities, how the communication, and how our techniques are going during this project. Yeah, thanks.